In personalized medicine, we looked at how our understanding genetics is revolutionizing medicine. And now this is more on the engineering side. So, what are some new engineering feats that we can find? And one of these things is nanoparticles. So, what you're going to do is just describe nanoscale, which I'll show you here in a second, and then be able to show how nanomedicine could be used for cancer and other various diseases. So, nanomedicine basically it's just using nanotechnology to improve health. So, what's nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is technology that's extremely, extremely small. All right. So, um, if we would do a, if we would look at some objects here, millimeters is about the length of a strip of paper. That's about 100 millimeters. A length of a toothpick is about 50 millimeters, and so on and so forth. So you guys kind of get an idea. So here we're still in millimeters at the thickness of aluminum foil. So we're still in millimeters. And then we start, so I give you millimeters, but then you also have micrometers. So micrometers is, so remember microliter is a thousand of those goes into 1 millimeter. So these are, so that's why it's 24.4. You just move the decimal point over 3 spots to get right here. And my pen's a little bit off. So you get it from basically to the thousands place for micrometers, and that's when you start talking about a diameter of the hair, diameter of a red blood cell. We start needing to use micrometers if we want to have whole numbers, even the size of bacteria. So where you get into nanometers is that so small you're talking about the size of a virus and thickness of a cell wall where we actually use nanometers. And what nanometers is, it's 1,000 nanometers in a micrometer. All right, so you basically 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have to. So there's um, basically if there's 1,000, there's 100,000 of nanometers in a millimeter. All right, so this is really, really small stuff. So what they're doing is they're developing technology, engineering particles that are that small. And if you think if something's that small, like the size of a virus, think of viruses can penetrate our cells. So these nanoparticles could penetrate our cells and basically mimic hormones, mimic proteins. So instead of doing the gene therapy where we actually make the real protein, we could also develop particles that basically mimic our own proteins in our cells. So if you're talking about sickle cell, you could have something mimic a protein that is like hemoglobin and correct our cells if we get them to enter the cell and everything else like that. So these are still being worked on. There are some products out there that are already using nanotechnology for, especially in the engineering partner, like filters. If they're trying to filter very small particles out, they can make filters out of nanotechnology. So what this is just really tiny nanotechnology that they're going to try to put in the body to use to correct problems. All right, so all you have to do in this section, because this is such a wide variety, is you're just going to describe new possibilities. So you're going to go into literature, research online, and you're going to find an article that deals with nanotechnology and specifically health. So don't just look up engineering, look up health and how it's related to health and describe what it does. All right, so that's all you're going to do for this section.